How's it? Today is Saturday, August 26th. It's medium Friday. I don't know. What what's medium, what's small, what's big, All these things are relative. Whatever the case is, today is Saturday and I'm not doing my deadlifting like I normally do. This is because I did not lift yesterday. I felt pretty sick yesterday. I had like body aches, mean headache. My throat was really like hoarse and really sore. I thought I had the vid. I took two tests and they were both negative. But just because of the way I felt, I didn't want to lift. I also didn't work yesterday. So, I just kind of stayed in and rested until today. I took today as an opportunity to lift, and I was gonna do my Friday lifts today instead of my Saturday lifts, because as far as it goes, like my Saturday lifts are not as important to me as my Friday things are. Anytime I get away from the weightlifting movements, I feel like it's not as important. I mean, I know it is important, but I don't think it's the same level of importance as, say, a clean and jerk is or a snatch is, with the single exception of a squat. I think the squat is of equal importance, or maybe even higher, for me specifically, because I am historically very weak. And like for me, if I get stronger, then my lifts get better. But yeah, I mean, as far as it goes today, doing that weird complex that I made up a couple weeks ago, which is power snatch, overhead squat plus snatch, gives me an opportunity to focus on all edges of the range of motion. And then the last movement, of course, focuses on speed with those range of motion, with those ranges of motion. That makes sense. Here's my last warm up at 80. This is just a power snatch, which that boy was hard as fuck. I was worried about all of my 82s today, which is 3 kilos up from last week's 79. But I think that, like, if that's a power, I think all of them are powers. If that's not a power, then none of them are powers. I think that they're basically all at that height for every single of my sets. And then for me, like, to feel like I'm getting work done, it's like that snatch at the end. It takes a lot out of me because I've already been moving so much, the power snatch plus the overhead squat. And then to come back and do the snatch is almost like it's a third rep. It's like a second and a half. I don't know. It's not quite 3, but it's definitely more than just a double at 82. I feel like I can do 82 pretty easily, and I've been able to do that in the past. I think my best like double, like pure double, is like 98 or something like that. I don't know. It's been a long time since I did any weights around that heavy, but I am back on track, so I'm trying my best to slowly increase. Every week is about 3 kilos, so over 10 weeks that's like 30 kilos. So it is what it is. After my snatch complex, I move into an even bigger complex, which is the power clean, front squat, clean, power jerk. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. And I'm going to 102, which again is 3 kilos heavier than I did last week at 99. And then it's not quite as low, not quite as high. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's not quite as heavy as the jerk that I did on Wednesday, for power jerks. But given that I'm doing so many more reps before, it just is killing me. Like the amount of physical like effort and exertion that I need to put forward is a lot. And I think that is, in the long run, I think that's good for me. Also, this is the first time I belted. I guess I belted on Tuesday, but for the Friday lifts, this is the first time I used my belt in a a long time, since before I got hurt, essentially. This is because 100 kilos is basically that weight that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put my belt on. I don't need it for 100. I probably only need it starting around like 110, 115-ish. But, you know, I like to get it on a little bit sooner than later. Because in the case that I do need it for being out of position or something like that, it's like, it helps me be more ready for that, you know. All of these movements, like when I'm watching them here and when I look back at them, like in my memory, the amount of effort that I put in for this complex is way higher than how hard it looks. Like, I am struggling a lot with these because I'm just simply out of breath and I'm like fatigued and tired. Look at this. Yeah, I'm like, oh god. It's so hard to catch my breath when I'm moving. You know, these are almost 1 minute sets, like 40 seconds. This one's a 38-second set here from start to finish. And I think it's good for me to be practicing this because I don't usually have like a cardio type of day, you know, a day that I'm focused on conditioning. And for me, I don't usually run into the issue where I'm out of meat, where I don't have enough time to warm up or something like that, and then like my conditioning is bad. That doesn't usually happen for me, but I can easily see why that would happen, especially at meets where things are moving very quickly, or where people are trying to mess you up in the warm-ups, you know. If they say they're going to open at something and then they move their opener to a different weight, then that forces you to go first. And if many people do that, then you lose a ridiculous amount of time over that whole course. So just being physically prepared is an underrated aspect of competition. Not in the sense that like you're trying to hit the weight, but in the sense that you are conditioned enough to hit the weight. Because like being strong and being able to execute is, I think, something entirely different than being able to like move the correct amount, you know. Yeah, going back to the lifting here, tempo squats at tempo pause squats 210 front squat at 120. First set was really easy. Second set got hard. Third set got really hard. But I'm pretty happy with how these moved. I felt like when I started warming up today, my legs were not going to be there today. And given that I was feeling really sick yesterday, it's confidence boosting for sure for how I feel today. But yeah, that's all of my bar work. And then I finished off with some pull-ups here. I didn't do 3 sets like I normally do because 1, I got lazy, and 2, like, it's Saturday and I don't want to overwork myself right now, given I'm going to be working tonight, and then I think I'm doing a double tomorrow at the restaurant, so I got to make sure that I'm okay for that as well. And then finish off with some hanging leg raises, which does give a little bit of discomfort in my lower back, but I think it is, I think it's one of those things that I just got to kind of work through. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'm pretty happy that I was able to come in today and finish off before work. But yeah, thank you for watching. Shoots.